both my wife and I grew up overseas. My wife, Elinda, was a missionary kid in Congo, or Zaire as it was previously known, and I was raised in Kenya. So we met at boarding school, got married, and now we're back out here.
And you've got some specialization, she's got some specialization, you've got this common heritage of Africa, but tell us about your specializations.
I am an accountant and a pastor. I was a United Methodist pastor there in Florida for about 20 years, and an accountant before that. So I'm putting both of those skills to use. My wife is a registered nurse and a professor of accounting. And so she's actually in the process, we're in the process actually right now of building a clinic. And I guess the timing is pretty perfect, although it would be nice if it was done already. But anyway,
yeah, there you go. And just a little bit about your family, the kids, who they are and where they are.
4 kids. My oldest, David, is an electrical engineer. He's married to Amber, and they have 2 children. And they actually live out here in Zambia with us. And so it's great to have them just about 100 yards down the sidewalk. We get to see them pretty often. My second is Kristen. She's getting her doctorate at University of South Carolina in accounting. Real exciting for, I'm sure that sounds to most of you. But Mark is a nurse in Charlotte, North Carolina. And he's currently having some experience with this COVID, although that's not the main unit he's working on, but he's definitely keeping busy. Lindsay is finishing up her last year at Daytona State College, and both Mark and Lindsay are very interested in moving back out to Zambia when they finally get direction for their life to do so. So we're looking forward to that if that's what works out.
Okay, now Zambia, they're not sure where it is in Africa. Can you zero us in a little bit?
Sure, yeah, we're in South Central Africa. Probably the best way is to point to it on a map, but it's just about a third of the way up the continent from the bottom tip, right in the middle, and we're landlocked, so we're in the middle of the continent.
Okay. Now, so kind of a personal story maybe, or I don't know how it fits for you, but did you have a conversion experience, or how do you talk about that idea that's a part of the Christian faith in many ways?
I had the benefit of being born and raised in a very Christian family. My parents were missionaries, as I said, in Kenya, Africa. So to be honest, I don't remember a time when I wasn't a Christian, although I do remember several times going to the altar. Most of those were around my 5th or 6th grade year, you know, some definitely some, I guess I'd call them moments of renewal and recommitment, certainly accepting Christ somewhere in there. But as far as, I can't point to a day or time just because it feels like, you know, always been part of who I am.
So you're at Khumba. You mentioned the clinic and your accounting and everything, but give us the elevator speech of the ministry there.
Okay, we have several ministries. We have a Khumba Training Center, which is a kind of like a camping facility where churches and organizations can come out to our place, hold camps, retreats, seminars, and basically we make it available at a very, very discounted price. It's about $1 per person per day, so that it's very affordable for everyone. So they come out and use that. We loan it out to churches and organizations 11 months of the year. We use it for ourselves for 1 month of the year, and that's when we have pastor school. And that's where we train our own pastors, the United Methodist pastors here in Zambia, and they come for 8 years in a row for a month at a time. And then at the end of that time, they're ordained and sent back out, although they're pastoring even in the midst of that. So we use the training center for the pastor school as well. And that pastor school was started by my father-in-law in Congo about 56 years ago or so. So it's been going for a good long while and has trained many pastors, and we're just pleased to be a part of that. We have a Journey of Transformation, which is like a 3-year discipleship program. We're really trying to start businesses that are replicable by local villagers because of the economic situation here and the poverty that's here. So our biggest business is the honey business, and we basically give farmers beehives, and then we buy the honey from them twice a year when it's harvest time. So those are some of the main things that we do here, and some of the main focuses besides the clinic. And also we're looking at opening a retirement home here. So if anybody's ready to retire to Zambia, come on out.
Cool. Are you really thinking of the people's residing there would come from all over the world, or are you thinking more that it's really going to be Africa or Zambia?
No, it's actually catering to Americans and Europeans, because the idea is to kind of have a 5-star facility at a 1 or 2-star price, because I know what retirement homes cost in the U.S. and they're out of this world. This one's right on a beautiful lake. Our climate is absolutely amazing, and it's a beautiful place to come and spend some of your last years of your life. So yeah.
Wow, that's there's some, I've seen a movie a few years back that had that kind of idea with I think India. I forget the name of it, but
yes.
I watched it and it was humorous and delightful, really. Yeah.
Yes, I know which one you're talking about, and it's not coming to me either. But yeah, they've had that one, and then a sequel to it, the Marigold Hotel, something.
Yeah. I think you're right. So in this ministry that you have going on there, what are you feeling good about, especially right now, and what are you finding yourself on your knees about?
Feeling good about the clinic for sure. This is something that we've been working on for a long time. I think the time is ripe, in the sense that the leadership of my wife being here, but also some other key people that God has put in place, including a Congolese doctor and the daughter of our Khumba training center pastor here, who's also Congolese. They each can hold key positions, and so it's neat to see how God's kind of bringing that all together at a time like this, and so we're excited about that. That's one of the big things. I think what's bringing me to my knees mostly these days, honey, as I said, that's the business, the biggest business that we have, and it's a big business. I mean, we have right now in stock, we have about 350 tons of honey. The problem is, if you look at our bank account, it's sitting real near zero. And we got people we got to pay on a monthly basis and things like that. So we're just really praying for sales that will help put money in the pockets of our employees, because they have expenses themselves. And we're also trying to get into that kind of some discipleship training as a part of that for the farmers as well. And so I think the time is ripe given the world situation that we're in. And so I think that's my main focus right now.
Okay, so if we were to join you in prayer, it would be praising God for the way things are coming together on the clinic and the personnel, and then also praying about sales of the honey.
Yeah, I know that seems like an odd prayer request from a missionary. We are not, I guess, typical missionaries in the sense of many of the things. We are trying to run businesses that help provide for our African friends. And so, yeah, it's an odd thing to be praying for a business, for a mission prayer request. But this is not just a mission. It's not just a business.
Right.
It's something that touches people's lives and puts food on the table. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And are the sales for that local to the country and community, or is it? Do you export?
We do have some local sales, but about 90% of our honey is exported so far, mostly to South Africa, but we have done some to Europe as well.
Okay. I was wondering about we're all in the midst of COVID-19 all around the world. We know what it's like in the United States more than anything else, but tell us a little bit what it's like in your country.
Yeah, it's actually not too different. We have a lot fewer cases, at least officially, and a lot fewer deaths. We have 74 cases in Zambia and 3 deaths so far directly related to it. But the truth is we never really know whether that's because the tests aren't being conducted adequately or whether that's the real truth. So we're basically in lockdown. The country has asked anybody taking public transport to wear masks. Everybody now knows 2 English words: social distancing, and they know they're supposed to wash their hands a lot. So all of that has been very well communicated by the government and by the Ministry of Health. But we're all just kind of keeping our distance from other people and trying to stay safe.
Okay. And just kind of some parting questions. Do you find that there's a book that you have recommended to others time and again over the years, which would indicate that it's meaningful to you and you think it'd be really helpful to others?
Well, as a bibliophile, I can recommend about 175 books to you, but
okay, give us a top handful. Okay.
There's a trilogy that we've used a lot, both when I was a pastor in the States, but also out here with the pastors. And the trilogy is by James Bryan Smith, and it's called the Apprentice series. And it's the first one is A Good and Beautiful God. Second one is A Good and Beautiful Life. Third one is A Good and Beautiful Community. And I find these really good kind of back to the basics of what our faith is about kind of books.
Great. I think I had heard you recommend them once upon a time and got them myself. And we're actually, as a session, reading the first one, a chapter each month. And so kind of a last question would be, well, when do you expect to be back in the States? And when you come back to the States, where do you roost?
Well, right now our ticket says about July 20th to about August 31st. But we all know how firm that is to put on the calendar. So we're hoping that that's what works out. And when we come back, we stay in Florida in the Daytona Beach area with my sister-in-law. And although Melbourne and Indialantic is our home area, so definitely we'll be in that area visiting some folks as well. www.kafakhumba.org. Kafakhumba, just like it sounds, org.
And you've got a place for online giving there?
Yes, okay. Sure do.
Well, Nate, God bless you. Whenever I think of you, it's with respect and fondness, and I hope the rest of your day goes well, and God bless you.